Welcome back to First Sound at Inside the Pylon. My name is Mark Schofield, and today I'm taking a look at North Dakota State quarterback Carson Wentz. And the concept I'm going to be talking about is the progression read structure in the four verticals concept. Four verticals is a common play design that you can see anywhere from Friday nights to Saturday afternoons to Monday nights. Teams run it at all levels of football. The reason why is it's a great way to stretch a defense both horizontally and vertically. Now, when you talk about working through progressions in the four verticals concept, there are different ways teams can do it. Teams can run sort of a full field progression read where the quarterback will open to one outside vertical route or the other based perhaps on field position, placement of the football on the left or the right hash mark, or perhaps based on matchup determination where you have your number one receiver matched up against a cornerback that you might be able to get a good play on. Quarterback will start there and then work from either right to left or left to right, working through each receiver and finding the open receiver. Some teams can run either a half field read or a modified half field feed, which is what I ran in college, where if you see a single high coverage, you're going to be working the inside two vertical routes, trying to bracket that single high safety, that free safety. Or if you see cover two, cover four, you might work strong side or weak side, depending on the position of the football on the field or the matchups that the coverage dictates. Wentz runs a full field progression read here on this four verticals play. And we're going to go through that. This is a play from North Dakota State's national championship game against Jacksonville State. As you can see, it's late in the first quarter, and remember, this is Wentz's first game back after an injury, so there's a little bit of rust here, but it doesn't show up on this play. As you can see, the Bison have the football on their own 32-yard line. The football is on the right hash mark, facing 2nd and 8, again late in the first quarter, and they have a 3-point lead. Looking at this play pre-snap, you can see that the offense has Wentz under center with 11 personnel. They have a single receiver split to the right, and they have a tight end trips or trio formation. There's the tight end. Here's the middle trips receiver on the hash mark. And that third receiver, the outside receiver, he's not visible, but he's off the screen towards the bottom. Not visible here. Jacksonville State has their 4-2-5 nickel defense. They've got two high safety look here. This cornerback is in press coverage. We don't see the other cornerback here, but the slot corner, the nickel cornerback, he's in sort of off man or catch man alignment. We'll bring up the offensive play art here. As you can see, it'll be the four verticals concept. Get a vertical route here from the split receiver to the right. Receiver, the middle trips receiver, he's going to run his vertical route up the hash mark. And now, since it's a 3-by-1 formation with the tight end over here on a trips, he's going to bend that vertical route, releasing vertically here, and then crossing towards the other side of the formation. Now, they start with two high safeties, but Jacksonville State rolls their coverage into 3 buzz, sort of a cover 3 buzz with press coverage on the outside like you might expect from the Seattle Seahawks. This safety here is going to rotate and be that single high safety, while this safety drops down into this underneath sort of hook zone in the underneath zone coverage. And then you see zone coverage sort of across the board here underneath, including that safety that's dropping down. Again, remember that this slot corner, while he's aligned sort of in man alignment, he's going to drop into this zone here. And that will play a role as we run through this play. And we'll run through this play sort of at full speed and then come back and break it down. You see a 5-step drop, gather, throw. Great throw sort of on that seam route. Again, watch his helmet, works through the reads, comes back. Timing is great here, and you even get a little fist pump in for good measure. Now let's go back and walk through this. We'll really slow it down to less than half speed so we can work through the progressions here. Again, that's the offensive and defensive play art. You'll see the tight end bends that route from the left side to the right. You get the vertical routes from the other 3 receivers. And again, in this sort of cover 3 buzz, this safety drops down, and the slot corner here is going to settle into this zone. It looks like he's in man coverage, but he'll stop there. He's not going to ride with that receiver vertically. Wentz is going to open to his right here and check the single receiver on that vertical route. Right at the snap, he'll flash his eyes to the outside and then check the safety. So there's the check outside. Now he looks the safety. He's now noticing that, okay, I expected cover 2. I flashed my eyes to the outside. He's still in press coverage out there, that cornerback. But now this safety in the middle of the field, he's dropping this guy's rolling up. This is no longer cover 2. This is a single high, cover 1, cover 3. So now I've got to adjust my expectations as a quarterback. And that's what Wentz does. As he drops, he hits right here, and now he's looking at his next read. He's come off the vertical route up to the top, and you can see why. That cornerback's in good position. There's not really any separation. There's no sense waiting on that. It's not going to get any better. So Wentz comes to that tight end, and as he comes to the tight end, he sees not only the linebacker, but that safety that's dropping down into that buzz, that robber technique, he's lurking there as well. So he's going to read that, see that, and quickly come off of it to his next read, which is down here. And at this moment, that looks like it's going to be covered because that nickel cornerback, he's in good position on that seam route. But remember, he's going to settle down into that underneath zone. He's not going to ride that vertically. And that's what Wentz sees as he works through this. He checks that tight end, doesn't like it. Now he bounces to the outside, delivers a great throw into that nice little area, that area between, as you can see, there's the safety, that free safety. There's the outside vertical route. Here's that cornerback who's had to come off of that vertical route and get to here. So when Wentz releases it, when he makes the decision to throw to the outside, this is a nice soft area to hit. The nickel cornerback, he's underneath it now. He lets him go. That's his job. His job is to cover that zone. But again, Wentz delivers a nice tight throw there into his receiver, into that throw-in window. And again, that's his third read. When we get to this next angle, watch his helmet. Takes the snap. Right there, he's got his eyes flashed out to that first read, that single receiver split to the right. Takes quick stock of that, measures that, sees if that's a good option. Now, right there, flashes inside, reads the safeties, checks the coverage. Now he knows it's not cover 2, it's cover 1 or cover 3. It's a single high look. I've got to adjust my expectations. And that's what he's doing all in the span of milliseconds, really. Now here, flashes his eyes again, makes one last check on that receiver, that single receiver. Does he like it? He doesn't like it. Doesn't like what he sees. Now there, he's reading that second option, that tight end, bending that vertical route. But he sees the buzz defender, sees the underneath linebacker. So now it's time to flash to his third receiver, step, gather, throw. Over the linebacker, behind that nickel corner, and in front of that safety that's rotating over. It's a perfectly delivered ball, and it's timed up incredibly well. What I want to do now is go back to it, talk about the timing and the footwork that we see here from the quarterback. First off, look at his left foot. Wentz is under center here, but he has that left foot staggered back. This is something I've written about before, sort of that stance and cheat step. You can get extra depth as a quarterback on your drop if you're a right-handed quarterback by staggering that left foot back before the snap when you're under center. Jay Cutler does it. Ben Roethlisberger does it. Here, Wentz does it. Because when he starts his drop, he's just an extra couple of feet, probably 2 feet away from center, and it gets you an extra couple of steps on your drop, gets you deeper into the pocket, gets you away from the line of scrimmage, and plus this allows him to clear the center quicker. That first step's going to be a little bit deeper. There's less of a risk of a trip, of a fumble on the exchange, or something happening as he extracts himself from the center. We'll run this at 3/4 speed. It's a 5-step drop. So what you're thinking, it's 5 steps, 3 right feet. Right foot, cross with the left. Right foot, cross with the left. Right foot, plant, gather, and throw. Now, what's great about the timing here is it's perfectly in sync. Even though he's working through progressions, he's reading coverages, he's seeing the rolled coverage, it times up perfectly for him to deliver the ball. Right, left, step, gather, throw. It's timed perfectly. You can't do it better than that. You can't execute it better than that. You can't coach it better than that. This is exactly what you'd like to see a quarterback do. Working 4 verticals, working a full field progression read from right to left, timing up his drop. When you watch quarterbacks, watch their feet. The feet from the quarterback, their footwork, it's a window into their mind. When you see footwork that's all over the place, when you see feet that don't match up with the route scheme, that's a quarterback that's unsure of what he's seeing. But here, Wentz is supremely confident not only in the route scheme, not only in his understanding of the route scheme, not only in his understanding of the defensive coverage that gets rolled at the snap, he's completely confident that that receiver, that third read, is going to be the right place to put the football. There's no panic, there's no rush, there's no concern in the footwork, he's not a duck on the pond paddling furiously below the surface. This is a calm, measured quarterback who knows exactly where to put the football and what to do with the football in this play. This is a great example for quarterbacks at any level of how to run the four verticals concept. If you're a draft fan, if you're somebody whose team might be drafting a quarterback, and you might be a little bit concerned about Wentz's ability to make full field progression reads, or if you've heard that he's a one-read quarterback, take a look at this play and relax a little bit. It's just one play, but it's a great example of how Wentz can work through progression reads, particularly in the four verticals concept. And it's a great example of how Wentz can process information quickly, even when there's a rolled coverage, and make the right decision with a football. For Inside the Pylon, my name is Mark Schofield. Thank you for watching this edition of First Sound, and I invite you to take a look at our website, InsideThePylon.com, for more articles and videos such as this one.